What's going on, YouTube? Welcome in. Today we got another beautiful build for you. Today we're building what I believe is the third PC that we built for Landmark over the last 6 years. This time he's going AMD. He's like, I want the best FPS possible. Since what can we build? I said, dude, 9000 XRD, best CPU right now in terms of gaming performance, especially in games like Tarkov, Delta Force. We're starting off with a 9000 XRD. We're going down on the X870E Strix board coming over from Asus. We're putting today's system all in the beautiful 216, which I believe we built in his last system, which is a phenomenal case coming over from Lian. And then we're doing 48 gigs of G.Skill Travisteez Neo RAM. Why 48 gigs? I think it's a sweet spot right now. 2x24, if you're doing dual PC, is plenty of RAM. We obviously know Tarkov has a little bit of memory issues, really spiking almost 32 gigs of usage. That 40 gigs is gonna be plenty for him with his dual PC setup. We got a 2 terabyte NVMe drive going down on the socket, which is the tried and true Kingston KC3000, which is the best enterprise grade drive you can really build on right now in terms of gaming and also longevity performance. Power supply going to today's system is gonna be a 1200 watt Asus Strix. It's gonna be the Aura edition. Really good ATX 3.1 power supply coming over from Asus. For graphics cards today, we don't have to worry about that. Tony's gonna be reutilizing his beautiful RTX 4090 that he has over from Asus as well. Top it all off, we're cooling today's system with the beautiful Lian Hydroshift LCD. It's a silent version, not a lot of RGB in today's system other than the front fans and the RGB on the RAM. Other than that, it's gonna be tried and true, just gaming performance beast. Let us know everything down below in the comments. Make sure to hit that like button, help us with the algorithm over on YouTube. Make sure to hit that subscribe button as well. If you want to catch more beautiful PCs like this being built, make sure to join our Twitch channel any Monday, Wednesday, or Friday or at twitch.tv/stints, which is around 11 a.m. Eastern. We hope to see you soon. Just better performance now for gaming. Yeah, AMD, that's the CPU right here, is the tried and true king right now, 9000 XRD. Motherboard, we want something, he likes Asus products usually. He's not really biased on products. I just know that Asus has been really good to him, so we put him on Asus again. We do have some carbon boards that are really good as well. I think like if you're gonna go high-end boards right now, without like breaking into like godlike or meg territory from MSI or like hero boards, the Strix 870E is really good board. The Carbon X870E is a really good board as well. And then we're obviously, the B850 boards just were launched at CES here about 2 weeks ago, so those are starting to come into the void, into the picture. So we'll be using some more of those. Honestly, B650 boards can still run the CPU really well too in terms of gaming, but we put on something tried and true, do a little bit of overclocking, we can do that for him as well on that motherboard. That Strix board is really good. And we got him on the Hydroshift. So the performance cooler from Lian he's been on that with his Apex and 1400 arcade setup, which has been really good. Just want something quiet, but also looks really nice. So we put them on the Hydroshift because it's almost the same price as a performance cooler now. So this will do well here today. Oh, Asus, okay. Asus and ASRock doing the same thing now. They're putting extra layer of padding behind their board and PCB in their boxes. I love to see that. ASRock's been doing it for years. Asus is now doing it. I like to see higher end boards doing that to protect the boards in transit. You know, they go in a master pack, a couple of these boards, probably per box. It's good to see that. Such a sick board. Let's go top down so you guys can see this board. Now this is the ROG Strix X870E-E. They make an E and make an EF. So it's confusing, but this is an absolutely beautiful setup here. But this has got a really nice I/O, really thick PCB, all the USB in the world as well as DisplayPort. So that is 40 gig USB 2.0. There are 3 of those on the back of this board. Sorry, there are 3 at 40 gig and there's 1 at 20 gig for your Type-C connections, which are also DisplayPort. So that's impressive. So we're gonna utilize the cooled, this is actually a cooled, if you guys wanna see this right here. It's pretty slick. I really like it. The heat sinks in these are insane. It's quick access for the heat sinks, for the NVMe drives, drop right in for M.2. First off, let's get started on the CPU. 9000 XRD down the socket. Let's check our pins. Everything looks good. Let's get our 9000 XRD out. Down in we go. Down the socket we go for Tony. All right, down and in. Lash it in place. There it is. All right, next will be our NVMe drive, which you saw we're just going to put it right here in one of our primary slots. So we're not using any Gen 5 drive, which are honestly overkill, and they get really hot. He has 3 5.0 M.2 slots, which is absolutely insane. I'm just gonna double checking to see which one is, make sure it's not using chipset. It's not using chipset, okay, perfect. So it's one of the 3 slots. These slots are not using chipset lanes for the CPU, they're not using CPU lanes. We're gonna utilize this one right here. So it's quick access, let's screw everything off. Get our thermal pad, get our Kingston KC3000 down and in. All right, so down and in we go with the KC3000. Get our thermal pad off the back of this. In we go. 1 and Done. Boom, all set. Drive is in. All right, make sure we have all of our cellophane off this board. It's gonna look absolutely sick when it's lit up. I can tell there's some RGB elements, some like kind of dot matrix kind of pixelation. It's gonna look a little gamery, but it's gonna look good. I do like how they protect the pins as well up top. NVMe is down in the socket. Next is gonna be our RAM, and then we're gonna work on the cooler. Let's drop our RAM down in chat. Beautiful Trident Z Neo RGB down our primary slots. Again, today we have a 48 gigs of 64CL32. It's a Hynix kit that we can mess with any kind of timings. We can do that on this kit. There we go. All right, let's get our cooler out. Again, today we have the Lian Hydroshift 360S, which is the silent version, non-RGB. Plenty of cooling power for today's CPU. 9000X3 is like honestly pulling 70 to 100 watts max in most games. So there's plenty of juice and cooling potential for his CPU. Double check and see how the AMD bracket mount is. There's our AM5 bracket to bracket mount. Interesting, okay. All right, so we're gonna take off our factory kits and install theirs. It'll sit really nice. The Shift includes a bracket cover that goes over the tubing, so it's like this. You don't see any of the cabling. Kind of hides it all, it's really nice. All right, let's get our brackets in place that we need. We're not using Intel, so go back in the box. We do need to remove our factory standoffs from AMD. Oh, we actually are gonna retain the screws. They use the factory screws. Okay. I was wondering about that. I'm like, how are you not, they didn't provide screws for the standoff? We are utilizing the factory screws. We just take off the factory clips. This is a whole different mounting system. We've used this one on Intel before, it's been really good. The first AM5 one, actually. And then we're gonna put our bracket back on and retain, it's gonna use the retained factory set screws for the standoffs. All right, all in. Nice and tight, nice and secure. There we go. All right. Same bracket, same thing. Okay, awesome. All right, easy peasy. Do not need the standoffs for Intel. They go back in the bag. But now we're gonna move our motherboard aside. Before we do that, we're gonna talk about the board again today. X870E Strix board with a 9000X3 down in the socket. Our standoffs are in place for the 360S Hydroshift from Lian. We got a 2 terabyte NVMe drive down in the slot 3, which is the quick access slot for the NVMe drives. And then we have 48 gigs of 6400 CL32 RAM coming in from G.Skill on the Trident Z Neo RGB. It's a mouthful. And side to side, get our case out. Today's case is the 216 from Lian. Built this case, I believe he built this case last week. Phenomenal case. Built Tony's last system in it. He likes it. It's compact for his desk. He can get at it without having to do tons of like changes. And he likes that he can get in and out with install graphics cards, things like that, into his system. So I said, all right, let's stick with what we like. So this 216 is the case we're going to utilize today. All right, guys, do that front close up, that beautiful 216 case. I think we built it was it last week we built this case? Really good case coming in from Lian. It's not like it's a high-end quality case without being like a really high-end price case. It's like flashy. Got really good cooling, really good airflow. That's why we're using it today. Good cooling, quiet, and still pretty compact for being a bigger chassis. Allow those thicker, girthy GPUs and products. Drop the motherboard down and in, give you an over the top look here. So dropping this beautiful Strix motherboard into this case. There we go. Nice and secure. There it is. Right on this top where we want it to be. So we're getting these screws in the motherboard. Nice and secure. All right, all in. All the screws are on the board. Give you a front close up of this case. There it is, chat. Looking good. Front panel connections, get these going. These are our fan controller headers. On the back of this, we have an RGB and fan controller, which we have to run these cables down. So I'm just working on getting these cables. They have them all zip tied or twist tied up. Get them all extended where they're gonna go. System channel fan 1, perfect. Go to all of our fans. There we go. So we got our USB 3s in. That's one. The USB 3.0 headers. We have two USB 3.0 headers. Plenty of USB front connectivity on this. Let's get our ARGB header in for our RGB fans to sync with the Armory crate or a sync. There we go, all in there. Good. We have more Type-C. We have Type-C and one more 3.0 header to plug in next. There's our USB 3.0 header here. Next we have our Type-C. These are in. We're going to get these plugged in. Then we're going to mess with the cable management in the back. We'll move on to the power supply next, chat. We have our front panel connections and our HD audio. All right, so up we go with the front panel connections. There we go, down and in. Looking good. All right, HD audio before we move on to the AI or onto the the power supply, chat. All right, guys, let's get a power supply out. Again, today we have the Strix 1200 watt Aura edition. This is a higher end, a little bit higher end than the tough ones we already use. The tough are fine. We want to give Tony a little bit more of a boost in the PSU realm. There's our power supply, 1200 watt. Just a really, really good power supply, again, from Asus. 10-year warranty, plenty of power, higher performance a little bit than the tough. Obviously, because you have, I believe it has a 140 fan. I think it's a 140 fan, so it stays really cool. Just a good quality power supply from Asus. I mean, it's what you'd come to expect. And one has addressable RGB. Let's see what cables we need today. We will need a SATA cable. We'll need SATA off of our cooler. Let me see here. I believe we need SATA off the cooler too. We do need SATA off the cooler. We have two on the board. So we need a 3-pin SATA, which we have right there. Perfect. All right. We'll need our 12-volt high power cable to power our GPU. Did they give you 2 on this one? Did they give you 2? Oh, they give you a PCIe. So you just, yeah, you could technically run dual 12-volt high powers on this one because you have a secondary PCIe to 12-volt high power. It's crazy. Our ARGB cable. We'll need our EPS, second EPS. These are SATA, PCIe, Molex, PCIe, and our 12-volt high power. There we go. Those are all the cables we need. All these other cables will go back in the box or in the bag. Which is a nice little bag. We put this in the motherboard box. A little cinch bag there, along with this power cable, which is nice. It has individually sleeved, really nice braided, really sturdy cables for today's system. There we go. Let's get our motherboard cable in first. Or that was over on YouTube. Thank you for the sub. That's our YouTube notification. No matter how many times we turn it off, it keeps coming back. Let me get this HD audio cable out of the way first shot. Drop it down and get it out of the way. Just easier to get this out of the way so we can get this power supply in. Because it is a little bit of chonky boy. All right, let's see how we do with the CPU because it's going to be tight, chat. It is right there. One EPS, second EPS going in. Now the most beautiful CPU cable run on the back, but it is short. I noticed it when we put it in. It's a short run for CPU to go all the way from the front and way over here. That cable needed to be another about 6 inches longer, but we are good. We made it happen. 24-pin main going up and in next. There we go, up and in. Actually spinning around, let you guys see it. The angle, the camera that's back here has not been working. We're actually going to change that soon. Working on overlays, alerts, and potentially even cameras. They're not going to change the main camera, not going to change the desk camera, not going to change the overhead. We're just going to change some more cameras. Hopefully get a better cable management. People like coming in and just watching me do cable management on these builds. So we're going to try and showcase some of that here soon. Most cable management is done outside of the cooler and the GPU cable. But you can see since it was shorter, we had to run it across the back of the case. We're going to run the cable for the GPU up and over. Go right through here. The way Tony can just plug in his 4090 later. Easy McPeasy right there. Leave right there. All right, now it's time for the cooler, chat. Let's see how we're going to mount this bad boy, chat. So the tubes are hidden on the side of the pump, which is nice. Let's install this, run the cables, and then put the rest of the tubes and hang them up. These are our pump fans, which go right to our CPU fan header, which is nice. I like that they did that. We'll have to get we're going to top down actually while we mount the cooler, so it's easier for you guys to see. Love that this chassis is all open here so I can do this efficiently. It's all of our cable mess. Like I said, there's a lot of cables that go down to this bad boy. We've got SATA, we've got PWM, everything right here. So thermal paste. All right, chat. I'm gonna write down with the right part that we can leave this right here. So the cables are out of the way, get this mounted right away. Boom. I'll go top down as well for you. Pea-sized ball, or this little X marks the spot. More the leg on the edges, more in the middle. There we go, nice and secure. Carefully, pick this case up, like so. Thank God I have strong forearms, right, chat? Just an absolute stud, you know? It's supposed to be a meme, all right, guys? You're supposed to laugh with me, okay? All right, let's push these cables down and through. Pass them through, then get this rad mounted. Get this cooler up and in, chat. And I'll spin it around for you guys to see here in a second. We have two, I can spin it around and get you guys to see it. I'm gonna get a screwdriver so we work on the rest, but there it is, chat, looking good. Give me a second. We have the RGB on what RGB? There's no RGB on this cooler. We have everything running the motherboard. I recommend always using the motherboard RGB so everything syncs up correctly. Get the rest of the cable manager done, chat, and we're getting ready to light it up here soon. We're almost done. I've just managed the cables going down the middle of the chamber. I always like running the headers for these coolers on the motherboard. The motherboard to dictate it. They're running the temperatures. That's passing it through to the cooler. So at the motherboard, if you can, if it has motherboard control, run to the motherboard. Let the AI pump run off the motherboard too. It's more better performing. We're all done on the back. Cables are all in. Cooler's all in. We're ready to light it up. I gotta put a GPU in there. We gotta put a GPU in it. What GPU? It's a RT. He's gonna use a 4090. We're just using a I don't know what we're using. I don't know what it is. There we go, chat. In we go. The RTX 50 RTX sample. Well, I gotta get this wire out of the way. There we go. All right, in we go. 3, 2, 1 with the GPU. I want to get this lined up better on the back. Are we in now? We're in now. Okay, we're in. It doesn't thunk. I'm so used to it thunking. There's no thunk. All right, we're in. Let's get over our screws in. Give you guys a close up. There we go. All right, spin her out. Oh my God, that's heavy. There it is. Sheesh. Guys ready to light it up? Guys, thanks for coming in and liking another video here on YouTube. Make sure you hit that like button, help us with the algorithm. Make sure people find us and see all the beautiful PCs we build. If you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button as well. Remember, we build these systems live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday over on our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/stints. Come over, hang out, chat it up with us, watch us build beautiful PCs for everybody in the community. And remember, let's go.